Naparima Bowl policy states that flash photography...
It's a very good evening, night, to our audience and our competitors. Welcome to this evening's program as part of the 32nd Music Festival South. We again warmly welcome especially our adjudicator, Miss Belinda Michael. I think we have all learned a lot from her. We've got to know her. So let's do it better than that, please. She has been here for the week, and she has really been good to us down here as a teacher. As a teacher, we all, I'm sure we all learned something. And I'm sure we all took notes so that, we could help the children that we come in contact with. So we thank her very much for her presence. But I'd like to give two little notices, please. This is competition, and you're not supposed to have candies in the auditorium. Candy wrappers are being heard, and that's very distracting. People are talking during the performances, ringing of mobile phones, and the use of the clicking of the cameras, and also moving around. We're in a theater, so we must observe theater etiquette, especially when we're in competition. Thank you very much. And this evening, with the mixed vocal duet, Class OPB2. The test piece, Calm Silent Night by Carl Goots. Competitor number 1, Ellison Floyd Tobas and Sean Fraser. Peter Lockhart. Competitor number 2, Sydney Mohan and Craig Cebu. So we've heard the three competitors for this class. Class OPB2, mixed voice duets. Their test beat, Calm Silent Night by Carl Goots. We had Ellison Floyd Tobas with Sean Fraser. Then Sydney Mohan with Craig Cebu. And Gabrielle DeYoung with her brother Savion DeYoung. Let's hear it for them and for their accompanist, Mrs. Bernadette Roberts and Mr. Peter Lockhart. Michael to the microphone.
What a way to start the evening. How jolly delightful. I really like this duet, and I really like that there are three pairs of singers here who have presented it this evening. I was just thinking if any of my students would get together and sing something like this, and I would really struggle actually to get them to sing this, purely because it's about love, and you might have to hold hands at some point, and it's all a bit silly really. But how are they missing out? That's all I can say. They really are. So clearly far more mature in Trinidad. So there are issues with this duet. It's not a simple one at all, and I just want to go through some of those. Obviously I'm listening out for the blend of the two voices together and the balance between the two voices. So in general, all our pairs, the sound blended nicely. The balance wasn't always equal. There was a couple where I felt that the lower voice slightly was bottom heavy. It wasn't the lower voice. Actually, it was probably the upper voice needed to sing out a little more as far as the blend goes. But then, you know, in that performance, everything was beautifully accurate, and notes were in place, entries were in place. I thought on the whole this was well learned, but there are definitely two little spots that are hard. And the first one appears in the male part around the ral molto. Boys, do you know what I mean? It's the chromatic little bit, where a couple of you did struggle. It's only a tiny, tiny little section, but I gave away one of my one of the things that I do before adjudicating. I do make sure I've had a look at the music so that I'm fully aware of what's coming, and I ring certain little bits, you know, where I'm especially listening out, and that's clearly rung on the music, because it's always going to be an issue. Chromatic singing is very, very difficult and so easy to go out of tune with the voice. There's no gauge. It's actually so much easier on the piano to play a black note, play a white note, play a black note, play a white note. It's all there for you. As far as the voice goes, you've got to create all of that sound, and it's got to be dead center. Otherwise it doesn't take long, 2-3 notes maximum before you're completely out. So that's definitely a moment. And then the next one is in the upper voice, the next entry for the female, and love would make this life of ours, the E flat to E natural. That caught a couple of you out as well today. So little moments like that I'm listening out for. But you know, on the whole, this was really very well learned. Lots of difficult entries. What makes a duet difficult is that there are times when you're not singing, and not singing, okay, fine, it means that you're not having to memorize words at that point, but it means that you're needing to count, and you need to come in at some point. You need to come in hopefully accurately. So it's the interwoven aspect of singing a duet, and this had it a lot, where you interlink or you repeat the phrases that are being sung. And we had this a great deal, and it was nice, this conversation, this sort of that was going on between the parts, the two voices. So I really had a difficult job, because actually you were pretty much all on an equal level. There was one duet where the voices really blended the best. There was one duet where you really did accurately sing everything, and there was one duet where, you know, I felt that the balance wasn't quite there, but it's a case of, you know, sorting out. In my mind, I did sit back and I think, well, which one will I go home and really remember? And because I had difficulty, I haven't placed third today. I have given a first place, and I've joint second the other two duet pairs. So the winners today with 86 marks are Sydney and Craig. And very closely behind with 85 are Ellison and Sean, Savion and Gabrielle with 85. Please come up and collect your certificates. And the reason I gave them the first place really was I found it very, very charming. I thought there was real endearment in their performance and the way that they delivered it. Just one thing to say, when you're standing facing inwards, just be careful that you're always facing your audience first and foremost rather than facing in together. Okay, but some nice things going on there.
Very much, Ms. Michael. And thank you very much again, young performers. Special thanks to you all for the music, and our championship representatives. Thank you all very much. We know that you will take the comments and work well to represent us well at the championships. Thank you all three once again. And of course, we thank their accompanists. Are you still out there? We go to class OPB3, Gents Vocal Duet. The test piece, God is My Shepherd, by Bach, arranged by William Briggs. Competitor number 1, Sean Fraser and Adriel Benjamin. Competitor number 2, Savion DeYoung and Craig Cebu. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I'm sure you noticed a little glitch during the performance of competitors number 1 with the turning of the page by the accompanist. And a request has been made, and it has been agreed to by the adjudicator, that we have competitors number 1 sing again. So let's welcome Sean Fraser and Adriel Benjamin.
Oh,
welcome our adjudicator.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is a lovely duet, but it is inevitable that it will be a lovely duet because it's based on the Prelude of Bach, the most beautiful, sublime Prelude of Bach from one of his Preludes and Fugues. It's in a different key, but you can tell the harmonic structure of the piece and the way that it goes and the places that it takes you that aren't necessarily where you expect it to be really lend itself to some lovely melodic writing above it. So it's great. I mean, many people have transcribed this for all manner of instruments and voice parts, but this was a beautifully written and arranged duet. So you both did well with it. Again, I'm listening out for blend of voices. I thought both pairs blended very nicely, and the balance on the whole was good. Just occasionally, you know, one part, there was a moment where I didn't feel the sort of lower part necessarily supported as much as it could have done. But the overriding aspect of this piece, the way that it's written, the way that it needed to be performed, is the connectivity of the two voices, the way it's called legato in music. So the smooth singing, the fact that it joins seamlessly. So you need really good breath control to do this, and you need a clear understanding of when the other part is overlapping, and you need to continue and breathe a little bit later, however difficult it might be. And one of our couples really, really managed this very well. The other couple hadn't quite maybe observed it in the music, that a note sang the notes absolutely perfectly but didn't sustain them through, didn't hold through, so then it left the other voice unsupported. As far as notes go, they were pretty much very well learned. I've written any moments that weren't quite so. And dynamic interest as well, that was sort of maintained. There's a lot of it that is all on one level, but I hope you just enjoyed the sublimity of that. I thought it worked very, very well. So for me today, I have awarded first place to Sean and Adrielle with 87 marks. There was a beautiful blend of sounds from these voices. We were lucky enough to hear it again, but I had already marked it. But anyway, I wasn't going to say no. You sang with suitable legato connectivity and worked really hard to carry the lines through. I've just written a little something. Every long tied note was expertly held. That's what you just managed to do so well. It was part two, really, that had the hard job there, but it was very well delivered. And in second place, with a very commendable mark of 85, are Savion and Craig. There was a fluidity to this performance, and I felt both voices complement each other. There were a number of times, I've just written it in, where the tied note, you have to sustain it through in a piece like this. So just have a look at the bar numbers that I've marked on your report sheet. But most notes were accurate, and I did think this was a good account equally. So well done, all of you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Michael. Thank you very much again, young men. Thank you for the music. To both duets, special congratulations to all the representatives in the championships, Sean Fraser and Adrielle Benjamin. And keep on singing. Well, we know you'll keep on singing, Savion and Craig. Well done, young men. And the young men keep up their appearances on stage as we go to class OPA 19, Folk Song Solo Gents. Own choice music, 3 to 5 minutes. Competitor number 1, Stephen Furlong, Stefan will be singing Johnny Grotto. Competitor number 1, Stefan Furlong. That's the lone competitor in this class. Folk song solo gents, and we just heard Stefan Furlong. And he is with us every festival. This year he gave us Johnny Grotto. Welcome, adjudicator Mikhail.
Where are all the other gentlemen folk to sing us folk? That's a real shame you're on your own tonight, but it doesn't detract from how much fun that was. You just did it. You did it as it needed to be done. You have a very easy style up on stage. You have a very comfortable stage presence. I'm not going to tell you that you weren't nervous, because I don't know, and in a way, I hope you were, because you should be. You're coming out to perform in front of everybody. So, but I don't want to know about it, and I absolutely am not aware that you're nervous. It doesn't come across as nerves. It comes out as a very assured performer, and that's the ideal, isn't it? Stylish folk singing from you. Your voice really lends itself to this style of song. You put across the story and performed it with clarity of tone, a great sense of style. Really well suited. You varied the dynamics, and your delivery was so engaging. I think we all enjoyed it. What's to say? Very well done. You get 88 marks. I think you'd have beaten those other gents anyway, so.
And congratulations to Stefan, one more festival. And we know that he will be a very good representative at the championships. We had one male in the folk song class. So we go to the folk song class, folk song solo ladies. OP 18, A18, own choice music, 3 to 5 minutes. Competitor number 1, Alana Stacey McLeod. She is singing Water Come On Me Eye, a Jamaican folk song. This song gives the story of a daughter who left home without permission. Her mother is distraught since she does not know where she is, and her friends do not know either, or they are not saying. Water Come On Me Eye, Alana Stacey McLeod, competitor number 2. Patrice will sing Go Away Justina. So let's welcome her. Go Away Justina. Patrice Richardson, competitor number 3. Competitor number 5, Bridget Alexander. Bridget's choice of folk song, Nobody's Business. Competitor number 5 singing Nobody's Business. Bridget Alexander. Naomi Adonis Woodsley. Naomi's choice of folk song, Boykin. Let's welcome competitor number 6, Naomi Adonis Woodsley, to perform Boykin.
Go
Competitor number 7, Leandra Williamson. Her choice of folk song, Evening Time. Competitor number 7, singing Evening Time. Competitor number 10, Raquel Dove. Raquel's folk song choice is a market medley. A market medley, so we'll hear all the market songs. So let's welcome competitor number 10, Raquel Dove.
Glass, Lord, this is a joy.
We've come to the end of this class OPA 18, Folk Song Solo Ladies. And we had 6 competitors and 6 songs. Water Come Away, a Jamaican folk song by Alana Stacey McLeod. Go Away Justina, Patrice Richardson. Nobody's Business, Bridget Alexander Boykin. Naomi Adonis Woodsley. Evening Time, Leandra Williamson. And we just heard the Market Medley from Raquel Duff. Let's give them a round of applause. They're drummers, guitarist, and accompanists on the piano. Thank you all very much for the music. Once more.
Ladies, you're going to have to tell me what it is that is in the waters of Trinidad that makes you such consummate entertainers and storytellers. It's really, really good. I wish some of my youngsters could see you and see the ease with which you do it. And I always tell them, and not just the youngsters, some of the older ones too, that to half do something is just no good. You may as well not bother. You may as well just stand there and just not attempt anything. Because half doing something means that you are self-conscious and you're aware. There wasn't any of that. There was none of that here today. There was an abundance, a wealth of natural delight to be up there to perform. So impressive. So I'm really commending all of you. I really am. And as I was going along, I sort of kept writing down the correct mark, the same mark. And so you are so all very much on a level. And really the choices tonight are my personal choices. I will try and tell you, why I've chosen them. But I have placed a first, second and third, but then the other 3 singers are all equally placed, just 1 mark beneath. So, it's that close, that close. What am I looking for? Well, I've said a lot. The biggest part of a folk song, it's a song of the people. It's 99.9% based on an event that's happened. And I think you can clearly tell that, the way that they're sung. As you were singing, I was thinking, I wonder if I can get my hands on some actual, a book of folk songs from this marvellous land. That would just be wonderful to take home, because I'd have to sort of maybe have some sort of dictionary to go alongside it, mind you, to just clarify. But yeah, they're great. They just come with such an energy. Even the slow one we had, Boykin O, didn't we? So this is you mourning the death, and it's got this fantastic lively beat going to it. It's just this complete juxtaposition. So I really appreciated the opening, the sort of more mournful opening that you gave it. Each and every one of you gave it something that was unique. And that is lovely. That's to be commended. So, very high marks. As I say, my first, second and third placing, they are just a mark apart. In third place, with 86 marks, is Alana with Water Come a Me Eye. This was such a believable account. I found myself sort of sitting there, just had this big frown on my face, and I was feeling so sorry for her. I really liked your introduction, and it totally led the way into the song with this clear description. Because there are many verses, you just need to just vary the tone a little bit. You know, it goes on. It went on quite samey in as much as you were sort of so very, very sad to have lost her. But that recit that you did, that sort of speaky bit, that really rhythmic speaky bit, that suddenly led the way to more tone coming through. I just felt it was a whole performance from start to finish, and I thought it was super acting as well. In second place is Patrice with her Go Away Justina. Yes, there was a lovely intro here. Yeah, just this is a mean song. This is just, you sing about lots of things, don't you? The voice is strong, and I thought it was really well suited to you. Not that I'm not saying you're mean at all. I don't mean that. That's not what I mean at all. But you just delivered it so well. Some good variations between your verses. The range was easily managed, and it showed some excellent vocal agility in the sound that you have. You also used the stage very well. You just were comfortable up there. It's very good not to see you just rooted to the spot. You were comfortable. And then the winner of this class is, I have to read the final line. I said, this was delivered with such assurance and bare-faced sass. And that is number 5, Bridget, and her Nobody's Business. It just had a foot-tapping vitality. The story was clearly told, really good facial connection. It was quite a repetitive, monotonous piece, but I didn't tire of it. I didn't sort of long for anything more than what she was doing. And it just seemed to get better as she went along. It had great humour, didn't it? You know, and delivered very well, really entertaining. Well done. And all the other 3. So, I mean, I'm happy to talk about you. I think I would like to, if you bear with me. So we then had, we had number 3. No, we didn't. We had, let me just find your report sheets. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. So, number 6, Naomi. Yes, I've said suitably mournful opening. I really enjoyed the contrast where it became more up-tempo. That first initial verse that you were singing, it sits right on your passaggio. Do you know what the passaggio is? The break. So it just sounded a little bit like you were reaching up to some of the notes. So even if you just dropped it a semitone, which you're perfectly allowed to do, folk songs, you can pitch them in any key you like, I think that would help you. Of course, then it seemed to just go into every key going. You really changed it around, gave us so much interest in there, and I've just written it led to a really good performance. Well done. Leandra, with your Evening Time, you completely caught the mood of this. With your lovely, bright smile and your ease with which you just delivered it. Good tonal quality to this sound. A couple of tuning issues here, just a little bit on the descending scale that you have in there. But the face is expressive and it's well on its way. And then we had, yes, is it Raquel, isn't it? Yeah, I enjoyed this medley. The contrast was naturally provided by all the various things that you were purchasing, all your provisions and things. The tempi changes worked well. Voice is working well. It coped well with the different keys. I'm not convinced how well it really hung together, though, as a whole. And it may be the keys that you sort of suddenly found yourself in that didn't quite necessarily link for my ears. But I did think the interaction at the end with the audience was very clever. And again, most entertaining. So, lovely class, ladies. Thank you very much.
Very much, Ms. Belinda Michael, for your adjudication, your remarks, and your comments, suggestions. And we also thank the adjudicators' assistants this evening, Angela Ailu and Karen De Silva. Congratulations. Congratulations to our female folk singers. Special congratulations to our representative in the championships, Bridget Alexander. Nobody's business. Well done, young ladies. The next class, OPB5, Ladies Vocal Trio. The test piece, Here, There and Everywhere, by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Here, There and Everywhere, the test piece for the Ladies Vocal Trio. Competitor number 1, Trebles Trio Dolce. Number 2, Sweet Chorale. Competitor number 3, the Virtuoso Trio. This evening's program with the ladies' vocal trio, test piece, Here, There and Everywhere by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Let's hear it for 3 trios, Trebles Trio Dolce, Sweet Chorale, and the Virtuoso Trio. Thank you for the music, young ladies. On Monday morning, we start at 12:30, Monday afternoon. No session in the morning. Let's welcome our adjudicator.
There is no better test for your oral skills, your listening skills, than to sing in a trio, or even a quartet is next. But to have the 3 parts obviously going at the same time, to be able to carry your own part when there's 2 other lines, equally important, going along at the same time. It's so easy to veer off, isn't it, ladies, to veer off onto the other person's part. All performances tonight did very, very well. Barely any tuning issues at all. And having said that, they weren't even accompanied. This was just them and their lovely voices. So it was a hard choice. Who chooses these pieces? They're lovely pieces, but they certainly, you know, aren't for the faint-hearted. Lovely song to begin with, but and a great arrangement too. I really enjoyed the arrangement of this Beatles song. I thought it had interest, it had the challenges in there, and it had the moments of beauty where the voices really were able to sort of sing through. So 3 fairly different performances here. We started with the trebles trio. I thought this was really quite beautifully performed. Parts were secure, they blended well, and they really had taken the trouble to observe lengths of notes. And that does matter in this, because a note length has been written specifically with another line in mind. And if that other line needs support from this sustained note, then and we lose it, you come off it too early, then this part here suddenly feels slightly exposed and bare. So they managed to sustain things so well, and it adds to the fluidity of the piece. The ensemble was good. I would avoid standing arm in arm. I would stand with hands by your side. You can certainly, the 2 on the outer edge can turn in a tiny bit towards each other. But I think as far as posture goes, and surely they were getting tired by the end of it, no? We hang on to each other's, you know, dresses at the back or whatever. I just stand with arms by your side. That's the ideal for singing. There's just a bar there. I thought you could have made even more of the freely bar. Don't rush through it. There's a crotchet triplet marked in. But I thought this was a really lovely performance. And then we had Sweet Chorale. Yes. Well managed. I would say that the balance wasn't always in place. The upper voice definitely could sing out a little more, and the lower voice occasionally overpowered the texture. But at bar 20, where it's the lower parts moment, this came through so beautifully. Really, you know, you shone at that point. Again, just a little bit more sustaining in certain places, but you'd learnt this really well, and I thought, again, there was much to commend. Some good work going on here. And then Virtuoso Trio. Lovely account, voices working well, both individually working well and as a trio working well. You had some lovely moments of swelling where the parts clash, and you've really got to get used to singing in seconds. Seconds are quite hard to sing. Thirds are lovely to sing. Sixths are lovely to sing. And anything really other than seconds and sevenths are really quite nice to sing. So in this piece there are lots of seconds, and you actually really, you leant into them, swelled a little bit up and down with your dynamics. That creates tension. It's nice. You kept the interest going there. Pleasing ensemble connection. Again, I've just written a couple of bar numbers here where the upper parts need to sustain to support that lower voice. But again, lots of good work in evidence. There was one performance, though, for me that really stood out as being a really consummate whole, well rehearsed and really fairly spot-on accurate performance. And the winners today with 89 marks are Trebles Trio. In second place with 87 are the Virtuoso Trio, and in third place with 85 are Sweet Chorale. Please come up, ladies, to collect your certificates.
For the adjudication, your comments to these young ladies and to all the performers, the competitors during this week. We know you had a very entertaining week, and we hope that the 4 days next week will prove just as entertaining. So congratulations, young ladies, and special to the winners, Trebles Trio Dulce. They will be representing us at the championships. Well done, all of you. Once again, thank you to our adjudicator, the adjudicator's assistants, Angela Ailu, Karen De Silva, to all the other volunteers and the South Committee of the Trinidad and Tobago Music Festival Association. We thank the audience for coming out each evening. Let's make it a big one next week, please. By now, lots of people know about it. We have 4 more days next week, so let the people come out to support the competitors and the South Music Festival Association. Thank you to the Bowl staff, front of house, backstage, sound and lights. Thank you very much for the work you have been doing with us to make everything go well. Thank you all, and of course we thank God for the skills and talents that are being showcased here.